Hello, everybody. Hi. It's been a while since I've been live here in Facebook and shared my face. So, this is me about waking up, just about getting into my flow. Um, I actually haven't even done my EFT session. I haven't pulled my cards. I haven't looked at my planner, but I felt inspired. And when inspiration comes to me, I need to go with it, right? And my second house is in Aries, and the more I think about my placements, the more areas I see it in action in real life over and over, and it's a beautiful practice of self-awareness, or of like, oh yeah, I can totally be impulsive, but that brings me joy. And Aries is very impulsive, and many Aries people that I know, they're very happy because they're just doing whatever they want to do. So happy Wednesday, Mercury's day. Mercury is a very helpful planet for me. I was born on a Wednesday, Mercury's day, and Mercury is the ruler of my Venus and Saturn. And so when I do magic, planetary magic or any ritual work, I try to incorporate some sort of like either Venusian, but certainly Mercury element into my practice. And that could look like as simple as um, writing, chanting. Mercury is the planet of communication. And yeah, communication. So I love how all these things wrap up. So right now it's 9:56 to 4/20/26, February 4th. We're in February season, and Uranus, the modern ruler of Aquarius, just went station direct in Taurus at 27 degrees Taurus. What does all that lingo mean? That means that Uranus had been retrograde for a while in the sign of Taurus. And then it's stopped moving what we say backwards and has positioned itself. Okay. And now it's going to start moving forward, meaning it's turning around and going back to the places that it had visited before and where it came from. So from point A, it went to B, and now it turned around at B, and it's going to go all the way back to point A. And soon enough, later this year, we will have Uranus enter Gemini for the first time in 84 years. So these moments of when planets stop and either go back or forward, whatever position, um, we pay attention, whether that's leading up to that event or just a few days after that. And then that degree could be one that you can track over time. So 27, wherever 27 appears in your chart. So if that's your ascendant, then this is a pretty significant transit for your Taurus ascendant at 27 degrees because you've just gone through a significant change around your identity. And Uranus is now going through and sort of giving you the reset of what needs to be learned there before you move into the transformation of your money, values, house, talents, and which would be for Taurus rising, that would be Gemini. And so, yeah, yesterday, what did I do? So, as an astrologer, I I spent a lot of time thinking about the planets and archetypes, and then I'm much more inward. My Jupiter, which is my chart ruler, is I can see it. I can see it manifest in everything I do. I'm a teacher. I have always found good luck, opportunities, Jupiter in the space of the ninth house, travel, foreign places, foreign people. I am a foreigner living in a foreign land. I'm an immigrant. I'm not from here. And even right now, if this is not my home that I'm in right now, and I have found fortune here. But yeah, Jupiter is the planet that sticks out for me in terms of where I'm going and heading. It's like this north star very much leading this path. And I what did I want to say with that? Well, so I'll come back to Uranus because that's more important. So for me, what's all happened here is I've with Uranus's transits and what we learn over a 7 to 8 year period time frame is that there is an opportunity to awaken a liberation that happens in the house that it exists. And depending on its connections to other parts of your chart, it will have more of a flavor and an impact. Okay. And when Uranus stations direct, we look around like what is happening in the world, what symbols, what messages, what is happening in the news around with value, right? Money. We've seen a lot of volatility in the markets right now. We also saw over the last 7 years the digital nomad, and we saw the inspiration of and detachment of needing to be in a place all the time to work. So we came back to reevaluating our values. And that is all very Taurus and Venusian, obviously. Uranus and Taurus, Taurus ruled by Venus. And out of this, Uranus will help us change what happens with all of that as it moves into Gemini. So the story continues, right? Just because a planet ends in a sign and moves into a new sign doesn't mean that whatever you learned in the past 7 years that that story ends. No, whatever you took from that and what you don't need from that will then move into you. You are you. Now you're going to experience Uranus in Gemini, which is a complete it's going to be so electrical. It and we've already had this experience started last summer for a little while before it retrograded. And it's been 84 years. So it takes 84 years for Uranus to do its thing. And when it comes into Gemini, we've had ex- experiences in the past of some great massive changes with regards to telecommunications, but also the polarity of things, okay? Because Gemini is a dual sign, so it's this, that, and they're brothers. And so we've had like civil wars. We also have like Neptune and Aries now, Saturn and Aries coming in, like all of this energy that speaks to revolution, Uranus, Gemini, duality of mind, of people, and then all the Aries warrior energy at place. Now, does that mean that you're going to be a warrior and out there fighting in a war? Um, Perhaps that's one with yourself. Perhaps that's one with others. Perhaps that's one with your how you approach your career, how you define your home space. Like all of these will be dependent on your houses. It's why you need to understand your rising sign and then quickly write down, okay, so if I have my rising in this, then my second is this, third, based on the zodiac order. And I do whole sign houses. If you're new to my world, I'm whole sign houses. I don't care anything about Placidus. If you run your chart and you see that there is more than one sign in a house, I'm I'm not gonna pay much attention to it because it's not how I compute. Yeah, that's how I'll say that. It's not how my brain computes. And so now we have Uranus in Gemini coming up, and then that's again 7, 8 years. And Uranus is one where in your chart you are meant to be unique, where you are meant to find liberation. And it's not something that is very apparent to you unless it's touching parts of your very core signatures. For example, your sun, moon, and rising, or your IC, or your descendant, or perhaps your MC. Planets at angles speak very loudly. And so in Gemini, there could be and then there will be a complete transformation in currency. This is Mercury. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. We're speaking about commerce and education. Education will We've already seen it now because we've seen the explosion of AI. It started with Jupiter and Gemini, then with that explosion of that, then Uranus and Gemini did a little bit of that. Then now Uranus and Gemini is really going to bring in the mass transformation with the assistance of Pluto in Aquarius. So yeah, Pluto is out there, and I forgot to mention this guy because now we will have all the outer planets in new signs in air and fire signs. It's big because we haven't been in this type of vibration in a long time. I haven't calculated. I know all the astrologers have out there, and it's been a long, 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 long time. Just put it that way. It's not 10 years, it's not 20 years. We're talking hundreds. And so this is obvious a signal for humans to evolve. Aquarius is the archetype of human connection, of wanting the best for humanity. It is the networked effect. It's the revolutionary. It's the atomic bomb. Its modern ruler is Uranus, uranium. So Pluto will help us unearth and see the power struggles, the yuck that needs to be seen in the shadow realm, and it will come through into the world of Gemini and Aries because it will have these connections through a sextile and a trine, and will also touch all the other air and fire signs. And this will be like a global activation regardless if you have nothing in these placements, you will obviously see it. You're going to see it, and if it sits like as in a square to your chart, any of those places that I mentioned, then you'll definitely be seeing that, right? So this is where learning your modality and your rulership becomes very important. Modality speaks to the fixed, cardinal, or um, mutable. I repeat this all the time, but yet my brain's like, no, I can't repeat this anymore. And then the element would be the elements, the four elements. So air, fire, earth, and water. And having a sense of that along with the house will help you to at least be able to understand what elements could be helpful if one is being triggered. So if you have a lot of fire, you might want to bring in more earth or water so that you're connected to that realm of nurturing self and others and intuition, perhaps, um, connectiveness, which is what water helps us with, and or earth to get some practicality and groundedness, but also on a practical level to literally get grounded because there will be so much of that electrical energy running through us, so much. So in modern astrology, we talk a lot about how some planets are uh, a higher octave than the traditional planets. So the higher octave of Mercury is Uranus. The higher octave of Venus is Neptune, and the higher octave of Mars is Pluto, and Saturn is just Saturn. And Jupiter is just Jupiter. Um, so yeah, we're gonna see more disruptions, and you're gonna see a new flavor of what Uranus looks like in your realm. So pay attention to where Gemini is in your houses. Is it the first, fourth, seventh, 10th? What is it? Is it the second, the third, the sixth, the ninth, the eighth? I mean, these are all significant transits because now, if you've seen what's happened in the last 8 years, now you got a glimpse, right, this past summer of how we saw like a spike of rapid evolution when it came to technology and AI, all of communication, everything that has to do with that. Then and also so many revolutions that are happening around the world through the use of social media and technology. That is the realm of Gemini and Mercury. And so now If you know that, it's like, huh, it's interesting. Well, then where is Gemini for me? And if you're just starting to get to know your Gemini-ness, then have some curiosity because that's the main word for Gemini people. They're curious. Their eyes are always like really bright and like ah, and not always, I should say, because we're not always like that. But there is an element about them that is very bright and shiny. And do some journaling. Use this opportunity over these next uh, few months to look at your how you have embodied security, how you have come to an understanding of what safety looks like. What are the practices? What is your mindset? Who are the people in your world? What do you actually need and what don't you need? We're gonna clean this all up. Like, you're seeing more and more people realizing how hoarding and carrying them around these material things and lugging them around are not helping, right? We're creating massive amounts of trash with no real solution for that just yet. But I do believe this is where Uranus in its beauty and other planets to help too. But you can I can see people through this transit because we've been imbued with that Uranian Taurus transit in us to awaken, have been awakened to the value of what we have and why do we need to create more. We need some sort of we have made, I believe, some reevaluation of what is truly sacred. Like, do I need this other object, and how can I recycle it? How can I upcycle it? And the whole like realm of goodwill and people making money off of that because of what COVID started, but then realizing like, oh, we can. There's all this stuff that is barely used that I can make money and reuse. Like that is a new way of thinking about money, Taurus values, um, rev- revolutionizing something there, Uranus. So there's a lot of goodness that will carry over. And then in your Gemini spark, you're thinking about like, how did I finish? What did I learn? Because you're taking that and you're going to take it into Gemini. Because once we're in Gemini season for 7 years, our minds are going to be and new thoughts are going to come in and you're going to be inspired, all depending on where it is. Okay, so not everybody will have this experience. Some will be like subdued and others are going to be like not happy. Okay, um and by subdued I mean like it's just not, it's not apparent to you that that's what's happening. For me, I've had, now that I've really studied my chart, I've realized that I am very Uranian. I'm also very Plutonian. I'm also very Neptunian because I have the outer planets basically at key points connecting to my personal planets like my sun, moon, or in conjunction with my angles and or near my angles. And so lucky me, I've seen Uranus really show up strongly, like fucking wild, okay? Um yeah, when I was 32, uh I have Uranus conjunct my moon in my eighth house. The eighth house speaks to death, rebirth. Like it can be literal as well as like, an idea, a process. And sadly I have experienced actual death, and moon is actual like mother child archetype, and all of that is connected to my sun. And so I had these transits, and from that what ended up happening was an unexpected arrival of a child that was a preemie, and then a basically an unexpected death, like eighth house. So, or untimely, like all of these weird eighth house crap. And I also have some things in the sixth. So, like, I've seen Uranus play out in that way. I've also seen it through my ability to have future insight of trends of what is going to be happening or could be happening. I'm not always 110% correct, but because I have so much Uranian and Aquarian energy in me, I have my Mars and my North Node. I am driven to understand this realm, and I am so committed to the mission of Aquarius, which is to bring liberation for all. Like, why not? Like, and to honor your uniqueness. You are awesome. Yeah, that's Uranus. Be your unique self and accept yourself and accept others for who they are. And yeah, I've seen Uranus play out in that instance, which was very tragic, of course. I've also it's given me many gifts on the flip side. um, I've I've seen it play out when it transited my second house. That was like a really wild. That's when I decided to leave my corporate job. Um, Unexpectedly, I took an offer and decided to completely tear down my entire existence over like, you know, 7 years. Yeah, by the end of that, I was like divorced. I'd left my corporate gig. I stopped dyeing my hair. I stopped doing my nails. Like, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck about that shit. I stopped putting on makeup. I haven't worn, I'll wear makeup if I have to. Like, if I really feel like I need to and I'm having like that Venusian moment, I'll do that, right? Like, I'll definitely cater to that. Um, but like, many of societal norms, Uranus, liberating ourselves from shit that doesn't help us. A lot of the societal norms, I was like, nope, not for me. Nope, I don't need that. And that is how Uranus could potentially impact you, where you have a realization that what you're currently doing, the relationship that you're in, the career that you're in, who you are is no longer serving you. And depending on the situation that you're in, it may be so liberating for you to just literally walk away one day and take on that next thing, or you're going to sit there in the holding on for dear life because goddamn that ego, that old identity is so good, but it's not, right? And so these are where are the patterns, these are the lessons. When people ask me like when how can I learn, I just sent out an email about this. Like I want to know about my patterns, like how can I find this in my chart? And the reality is that the patterns and the lessons are already there. You don't need to learn much more. Like if you know you have a pattern of attracting bad partners, then you need to literally do this. Write down the reasons why you love attracting bad partners. And then do another list of why you really, really dislike and dishonor yourself for working with and even wanting a bad partner. What we put up with in our patterns and our lessons is basically comes to like our sun and our moon. It's root chakra, it's solar plexus, it's honoring ourselves and realizing this isn't good for me. How can I best change this? Now, the change is can be hard, so hard. I trust me, I know. So after this morning, I got up. I have my Kindle, and in here I have my magic ritual that I do every single day. And after that, I generally do an EFT. Well, I've skipped it, but I'm going to do that right after this video. These are practices that I need for myself in order to do the changes that I see that I need for myself. And those lessons have come to me through many places. Okay, they've come through Oracle Tarot, they've come through the people that I'm meeting, the experiences that I'm having, how my business is doing or not doing. These things aren't connected. Our sexuality, our jobs, our money, all these things are you. And the chart can tell you like what could be triggered or what's ultimately like a lesson for you to learn. And yeah, start with the sun, moon, and rising. Those will tell you a lot about who you are. So much. And then the conditions of those locations, any aspects, and the rulers. All right, so it's 25 minutes, and I don't even know if anybody, I don't think anybody's here watching me, and that's okay. I am going to be dropping this video here in the community for you to watch whenever you would like, and leave me a comment. I would love to know where Uranus is visiting for you next. And if I'm going to drop a link to the Gemini blog post that I wrote, and I want you to read it and find a keyword there that sticks out to you that you are ready to claim. Okay? All right. And then the next thing I would love for you to do is to join me in the Explore Your Woo Sundle that begins on February 10th and ends on February 17th. We will have a live call on the 10th, as well as the 13th, the 14th, and the 17th. You are welcome to come in and join us for any or none of that. You're welcome to join us for the gifts. There's going to be an area where you can grab all these goodies for your life or your business. And then there is a VIP pass that will have more exclusive teachings, and that's $25, super affordable for those who wanting to change their business or life. It's geared for both. You could use them for both. One of the things that I have been pushing people to, because Uranus and Taurus really showed us, is that you can't rely on other people for your abundance. If you have the ability and are in a position to do a side gig that is very, very, very low key, but gives you that extra cash, do it. Do it, friend. Do it. And so this bundle can help you with both and just for your life if you don't care about the business side. And there's a whole community separate from this, separate from what you see here in Facebook. Facebook is that will be a separate video, but Facebook is on obviously has been on its way down. Let's just admit that, okay? But when it comes to community, it has sucked so bad. And it blows my mind because it was built as a social network. But when it comes to community, it's done a shit job. And so I'm moving my community, work, my space into Skool. It will be free. And right now, the first iteration of this is where I am teaching and helping business owners, but the Sundle is hosted there. So it's all of us. It doesn't matter if you have a business or not. This is the space where you're going to get to explore your woo, whether that's astrology, human design, galactic astrology, automatic writing, meditation, harmonic codes, animal communication, oracle, tarot, all of that is here. I am so excited to bring this to you all. I've been working on this for months, and the community of Skool will be the place where we're going to connect, where we're going to talk with each other, because it's not just going to be me sharing a note and being like, hello? No. This is where you come in and say, hi, I'm just starting out and I have a lot of questions and I would love to find a buddy. Or, hi, I have a question. Can someone help me answer it? This is the space where we're going to create from the 10th to the 17th. And then after that, it will be evolving into a new space. It will remain in the same location. What happens with Facebook group? I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Um, I've loved that this has grown to 700 people, over 700 individuals, but I know that over 700 of you are not paying attention to what's happening here. So the ones that are meant to follow me are going to join me in Skool, and then the next evolution of what becomes the Unveil Path Quest Mystic version of my existence. versus my Cosmic Clarity Lab Cosmistic Existence, which is the business portion of astrology if you have a business, and Unveil Path is for the personal growth seekers. All right, friend, look for not emails, but links in the comments here. And yeah, you have homework. Let me know what is happening with Uranus in your chart. Take care. Bye.